Okay. Hello, Marcus. How you
Hello,
doing?
Tuye. I'm doing great.
Okay.
Greetings from Vantaa, Finland.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Toywin, and I'm doing this showcast called Fear for Breakfast, and I'm calling in from United States, California, and I have a guest here. His name is Marcus, and Marcus, can you introduce yourself? What country you call in, and what city you call in, and also um, pretty much which organization that you work for. You can brag in about yourself, or whatever way that you feel comfortable with.
Thanks, Tuye. And thank you so much for this opportunity to come into your show. My name is Markus Vahala, and I'm from Vantaa, Finland. It's the one of the largest cities in Finland, which is in Scandinavia, in Europe, just next to Russia, Norway, Sweden, and Estonia. And this is actually my house and my recording studio. I'm doing music. I love art and culture, and I'm working in the Central Association of Culture and Wellbeing, Kukunori, which is an umbrella organization of 43 Finnish organizations working with people like who are interested in creating art and culture and have needs for support due to reasons like mental health problems, disability, or exclusion. There are people in prisons, coming out of prisons, people who need other people and platforms to be able to feel better, but also to feel themselves included in the society. And in Kukunori, I also work doing international projects in almost every continent there is. So our network is quite large, and because of the interest in international things, I've also been involved in creating citizenship movement called Citizen Network, together with Simon Duffy from United Kingdom and many other innovators around the world. And little by little, we have created a huge community called Citizen Network with people coming from over 40 different countries all over the world. There are 190 organizations involved and over 700 individuals. And we are connected with values of citizenship. We want to build a world where everyone matters, where everyone can come together and work for society and for a world which is more equal, and where everybody has responsibilities also to maintain civilized life, where we can have a dialogue and meet like we are meeting today, Tuye. So it's wonderful to be here to represent Citizen Network TV, which is our community media where we are collaborating at the moment, and also Kukunori, all the people here in Finland. So I'm very glad to be on your show today.
Thank you, Marcus, and it's an honor for me to be part of the Citizen TV network, and I have learned a lot since I joined your community. It's a huge community, and I'm one thing I want to ask you is that you are a very successful person, and I can see you have a lot of great character in you, and so for you to um, volunteer and do this type of work for my program, what's motivated you to do this type of show like this?
Well, I think that there's a feeling of solidarity between people, between friends, between family members, neighbors, villages, cities, towns, nations. And I think we need to foster this kind of feeling of caring for and with each other. And I think I'm raised that way. Perhaps I have to thank my mother and father for raising me like this, but also all the people I've met during my life. I have been supported, so now I feel that I can support other people. So there's sort of huge queues of people um, that support each other, and this kind of love and trust, it's being created, and this motivates me to work for and with other people, because I'm also, like you said, you've learned so much. I think I'm learning every day so many fascinating things about the world, about the people, about different kinds of viewpoints on themes like what is a good life, and uh, how to live your life in peace and harmony with others. There's so much stress, problems, conflicts in the world, but I have a, for some reason, very positive outlook on the future, because as much as we are afraid, or as in your show, um, having fear for breakfast, so there's a lot of fear and anxiety and negative feelings around, but at the same time there's a lot of positive things happening, and a lot of them, they are hidden from uh, yourself, and you don't see it, you don't feel it, or you cannot experience it. So you might have this kind of feeling that you're all alone and there's no hope in the future. But the more active and outgoing you are, and more like open to having a dialogue and the will to understand, then I think that's something that motivates me and motivate others. So I think the treasure in the world is the world in itself, in all the people and all the environment, the nature, everything there is. This is a sort of huge experience to be alive just now, just here, like with you, Tuye.
Thank you so for your rich and wisdom, Marcus. And so now we're gonna go into the core question of the day. So can you share with us about the fear that you want to um, talk about in today's topic, fear for breakfast? Your own.
Yes, yeah, my uh, fear for breakfast today is the fear of losing uh, somebody you love. This fear is somehow also quite international. So I understand that fearing this, or having this fear, somehow connects me to all other people in the world having this same kind of fear. I think it's somehow written in us that as a small child, we rely on the care of our parents, our family members, and little by little, when we become more individually active, then perhaps this fear changes. But this kind of fear of being left out, of other people's care and attention, it's somehow, in my feelings, related to the fact that I also love my two sons, my wife, my friends and my family members. So I'm afraid that something happens to them. At the same time, I'm sort of um, also experienced in life that something can happen suddenly, and you cannot owe people. You if somebody passes away, it usually is something that you cannot expect. So you don't also have time to be afraid of that. But for example, my father died of cancer when I was 14, and that took years to happen. So I was afraid, but that time led me also to have a dialogue with this fear, and also dialogue with my father. So we both knew what was there in the end. Uh, I think this fear that I'm having for breakfast, the fear of losing the loved ones, is also related somehow to the fear of extinction. I think we are facing global challenges. There's changes in the environment that cannot be undone, and these changes are hidden away from us. They are like happening at the same time we're experiencing all this wealth and prosperity, but the price is that we are destroying this natural environment. There's climate change. There's we are losing species and ecosystems because we want to experience something that is not somehow founded on the principles of sustainability. We are not very wise when we are living like this. We are not living a balanced life as human beings. There's huge differences between the richest of the rich and the poorest of the poor. At the same time, we are also experiencing very positive things as human species, but then there are other species in the world that are not so lucky. We are losing hundreds of species year by year, and in the end we are losing the treasure that we have in the world. And we as human beings, we are not in isolation of these huge problems and challenges we are facing. So that's also something that motivates me. This fear is motivating me to be more active in the citizen network, because this kind of networked people is our key for survival. We have huge challenges to survive as people. This means that we have to learn more rapidly than ever before. We have to tackle challenges that weren't there before. We have to join forces and resources and skills in ways that are so complicated that we haven't had that kind of experiences before.
Yeah.
But now, through technology, for example, you and me, we can have this discussion, we can learn together, we can put our learning, our heads and minds and hearts together, and also invite other people to do the same. And if 1,000 people teach 1,000 people every day, then in the end we create the school of life that includes all the people in the world. But we just need to perhaps focus our attention more on the survival of us.
First of all, sorry for your loss of your father. It's kind of a very sad story to hear that from you. And based on what you're saying, that there's some negative and there's some positive about this fear. And so on your opinion, can we live without this fear at all?
I think we need this kind of fear. A fear is also protecting us. The fear is there to show us that there are something to be to be afraid of. For example, if we would be afraid of a monster coming to eat us, so that's something that perhaps we don't go to that dark forest. If we are afraid of losing our loved ones, perhaps that shows us that we care of other people, that there's something else than just this kind of feelings of using one another. We also have a tendency of having a relationship with people that is so deep and so thorough and so unique that you cannot sort of copy that feeling. And inside that feeling of love, and there is also this dimension that is very universal. You can sort of experience love and experience love with people all over the world. And if we explain about having feelings of love, for example, I think the people all over the world understand that. But the love between two unique individuals, that's something that you cannot copy, or then you can remember it, but when we pass away someday, then also those unique feelings and experiences go away. And I think that's also somehow, I feel that fear is also our dialogue with time. We already know that in the end, none of us will survive life. We all pass away one day. So it also perhaps directs us to appreciate the time that we have with the people that we love.
Thank you so much, Marcus. And that's a great learning lesson for everybody out there, especially those so terrified in their environment and situation at this point, especially with the COVID-19 around us. And so with your rich in wisdom like that, I believe that it can be very useful for a lot of folks out there. And yeah, and so if there are three main things that you would like to give advice to the people out there who are uh, suffering about this type of fear that they have during the COVID-19, what would it be?
I think this COVID crisis has shown us that perhaps we don't need all this material excess that we have. That the real treasure is between um, our close ones, the people that live nearby, our family members, our friends, our neighbors, our closest communities. I used to travel a lot doing this international work, and now I haven't been traveling for 1.5 years at all. And I think that it's very important to meet people face to face, but it's very unecological, and we can also meet like you and me are meeting today, using these digital technologies that we have. And I think that this COVID crisis has shown that perhaps if we are afraid of losing our loved ones, that also perhaps brings motivation us to create a world where this kind of COVID crisis would be somehow tackled more efficiently that we are doing today. We have seen that for example, nations are not something that the virus is some. They don't believe in nations. They are international and global at the same time. That means that the solutions also have to be global. We are one human species, and if you look from the space towards the world, you cannot see any borders. So there's no labels, no walls, as we say in no labels, no walls community. That's something that perhaps we have learned, and we can use this fear as a tool to motivate us to create a world where we care more for ourselves, for our neighbors, and we appreciate more this kind of things that are actually the most important relationships in our life.
Thank you so much, Marcus, for all your advice, and thank you for sharing your personal story with us today. And it's an honor for me to interview you today, and I'm looking forward to uh, perform our next event coming on Monday for the Citizen TV network. And if folks out there want to join, um, please feel free to reach out to me or follow the Citizen Network TV on YouTube or on Facebook. Thank you so much, Marcus, and I wish you have a great night over there in Finland.
Thank you, Tuye. Thank you so much of having me in your show. I think this is the best show ever. It's a show about fear. I don't know any other show that's about fear. So I hope to follow your program, and I wish all of you watching this program will watch all Tuye's programs. These are great. Thank you, Tuye.
Okay, thank you, Marcus. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.